Hey YouTubers, it's up, it's your boy Happy Jab here, and welcome back. On this one, we're building a fully automatic bone meal farm. This one is somewhat like the charcoal generator, where all you have to do is just basically set it up, let it run, and then when you come back, you eventually end up with more bone meal than what you actually put into the machine. And these right here, these are the items that you're gonna need. So if we just take out these right here, this is everything that you're going to need for the builder blocks, and then you're going to need 4 lava sources, and as well as all of these waters too. So you can just start with 2, and then this is how many water sources we need. And that's 2 droppers and a single dispenser. Now let's get into the build. Now this build is very similar, very similar to the moss farm that we built the other day. We just have to basically make it a little bit bigger, and with some modifications. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go dropper, with a dispenser on top. And then on top of the dispenser, you're going to put down a moss block. Now off of this moss block, you're going to go 2 blocks each way. Make it a square. And this is what you should have. You should have a 5x5 stone platform with your moss here on the outside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 blocks. And to the right of each side, what we're going to do is we're going to build a 3x2 platform off of the corner. Okay, and just like the moss farm, this is a repeated design. So we're going to do the same thing on all 4 sides of this little ninja star right here. So we're going to go temporary block, with 3 pieces of obsidian on the backside. These are very important in order to have it so that the farm doesn't break. You can now remove these temporary blocks, put down 3 pistons. Beside the pistons, we're going to go glass. And then off of the glass here, what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 stairs facing in like so. Glass or a solid block on either side of the stairs. This is going to be used to contain our 2 water sources that we're going to put in here. Then in front, we're going to go glass over top of the water, and then 3 solid blocks above these pistons. On the right side here, we're going to go obsidian. So that is what it should look like right there. And then in this little section right here, this is where we're going to put our lava. Now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat that same thing on all 4 sides. So again, temp, obsidian. Put your pistons in, glass, stair, glass. Put the water inside the stairs here, your glass over the water, your glass in front, solid blocks in the back, and then fill it with lava. Obsidian on the left side here, and then just repeat and repeat. Okay, and once you are all done, this is what you should have right here. It is just a repeated design on all 4 sides, very simple to put together. Now what we're going to do is we need to set up some pistons in order to break everything on top here. And really, this is what's going to help us make this an actual bone meal farm. So what you're going to do is just pick here, right on the corner, put down a temporary block, and then take your pistons and run a row of 5 pistons, or 25 pistons, across this entire 5x5 section here. Right like this. Now what we can do is remove this temporary block, and cover all of this here with solid blocks. This is going to allow us to activate these pistons when we need to. And with that all done, doers, you can see we don't have very many blocks left, and we are just about finished here. So now all we gotta do is we gotta set up some redstone. I know, but I've made this super easy for us. Okay. Coming down to the bottom here where we have the 2 droppers and the dispenser, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put down 2 solid blocks like so, another one to the right side, come back 2, step it over 1, 2, and then using your temporary blocks, just build a ladder up to that section right there. A little something like this, okay? You need this top part right here though to be 2 blocks long, and we'll explain that in a second here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go repeater. This one here is gonna be set to 4 ticks. We're gonna climb our little ladder up. And right here on this double block, we're going to put a repeater. Now we're going to take our redstone, we're going to run it down all the way back and connecting up to here. We're going to come to the top side here, and we're going to run redstone over top of every single one of these blocks. Okay, now what we got to do is we got to power all of these pistons down here, and we need to do them in sync. So what we're going to do is here's where the redstone comes up. We're going to come to the opposite corner. We're going to step it down 1 and 2. Then we're going to turn. And we're just going to come 1 block over so that we can connect these up right here. And then make sure this one comes around and connects over to this side. We're going to come to the opposite side now and do the same thing off of the corner. 2, turn, connect. Same thing on this side right here. connecting up to this one here, and I had to grab some extra blocks because I used too many to build my little ramp up here, so keep that in mind. Now what we're going to do is where we have our little step down here, we're going to go repeater, set it to 4 ticks. Same thing on the opposite side, repeater, set it to 4 ticks. And then just connect our redstone up to these solid blocks down here, and same thing for the other side over here. And once you're all done, this is what both sides should look like. So you should have your repeater running power out to all of your pistons down there. Should be the same thing for the opposite side too as well, with a simple redstone ladder running our signal up from the dispensers down there. Now I screwed up my little path thing here, so I had to grab a little bit extra redstone. But now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here where we should have our dispenser and our 2 droppers below it. And we're going to put 1 piece of bone meal in the top one, 1 piece of bone meal in the center one, and then you can put as little as 5 in this lower dropper here. But that's how we're going to keep it for now. Okay, now it's time for us to actually turn this into a bone meal generator. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hoppers and we're going to run 1 going into that bottom dropper right there, with 2 on this side going into it, and then 2 more on the right side going into it as well. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our composters, and we're going to put all of our composters above these hoppers. We're going to run 5 hoppers going down and into those composters like so, and then each row is going to look like this. 1 hopper on that side, with 4 more running into that hopper above the composter. We're going to do this for all of these rows right here. Now right here in the center, we're kind of blocked because of the dispenser right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to actually turn that one and feed it into the left or the right, doesn't matter, with 4 more on this side feeding in. And what you should have is a 5x5 section to collect all of the materials that come under. And that is basically it right there, doers. So now what we need to do is we need to power this whole thing. But before we do that, we want to make sure that nothing comes flying out of this farm. So this is where all of the extra glass comes into play that we brought along. It doesn't have to be glass, these can be solid blocks. But what we're going to do is we're just going to build ourselves up. And right here above this obsidian and this piece of glass, you can see this opening. We just want a nice little clean 5x5 area in there. We're going to seal this off. We're going to do the same thing under here on the redstone. So that's above this little 2 section here with the obsidian. This is going to be on every side. With that done, we can now just cover up all of this lava so that way we don't actually, fall into it and die. And basically, we are done, doers. So that is the farm right there. That's the bone meal generator. It's a repeated design on all 4 sides, and then the upper side too as well is just a repeated design on either side. Underneath it here, we have our 25 hoppers collecting all of the items and dispensing them down into the composters, which will then turn them into bone meal, and essentially, you're going to see here in a second how this starts to generate it. Now you can power this setup here with a hopper clock if you would like to, but I'm just going to bring along these extra materials. So the 8 redstone repeaters, 1 sticky, 1 slime, 1 observer, 1 lever. And right here where we have this solid block coming off the bottom dropper, what we're going to do is we're going to go solid block, and then we're going to turn the corner, 1, 2, 3, leaving this one blank right here, turning the corner, 1, 2, and then run a row going back to that dispenser or that dropper right there. Now we're going to take our repeaters and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to set all of these to 4 ticks. Solid block in this corner, solid block in this corner. Now we're going to leave a 1 block gap and we're going to put down an observer with its butt facing up, a slime block, a solid block behind it with a sticky piston on top. This is where we're now going to put our lever. This is what we're going to use to activate the entire farm. Now before we activate this farm, what we want to do is we want to come underneath, and you can either use slabs, glass, or whichever you want. But this is where we're going to take our final 11 pieces of glass and 1 obsidian, and we're going to put a single one here, single piece of obsidian in front of these stairs right there, with 2 glass beside it, and then on the 3 remaining sides, right here in front of the pistons, we're going to run 3 pieces of glass. Now, like I said, these can be used as slabs, it can be pretty much anything, we just don't want the water to pour down. And that is it right there, doers. Now, before we activate this thing, let's just make sure we got our proper redstone timings. So starting from the bottom, we want to have 1 tick, 4 ticks. Redstone is going to come up the ladder. We want 1 tick on this repeater here, feeding into all of these pistons. And then on these 2 outside ones, we need 4 ticks as well. Now, if we go back down to the activation system here, you want to make sure that every repeater is on 4 ticks right here. So that's 1, 4, 1, 4, and 4. Okay, now if you guys will remember, we started with 1 in the dispenser, 1 in the dropper, and 6 down here in this very bottom dropper. Here is how this farm works. All we have to do now is flip this lever. The farm is activated. Make sure we have nothing but stone growing here. Yep. You can hear the composters already going to work. And if we look in here, we already have more bone meal than what we put in. Now, the reason why this farm is working so well on generating our bone meal is because all of the extra goodies that generate on top when this farm does grow. So if we were to use this design here, which is just the original moss farm, if we put in 23 bone meal on that farm, we would get 22 out of it by simply adding in a little bit extra farmable and compostable materials in here. You guys can see that we're already up to 15 bone meal and we started with 6 in there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we'll do an hour test doers and you guys can just watch this thing fill up in all of its glory. Okay? Okay, dudes, so it has been an hour now, and you can see that we have generated over 9, just about 10 stacks. So about 600 bone meal is being generated from this thing every hour.
Nope.
Which isn't too bad, and you could literally just let this thing run and, yeah, keep collecting bone meal for you. Now, the thing is I haven't figured out the system in order to collect the bone meal from this. So you're kind of just gonna have to do it manually, like so. But yes, as you can see, in an hour, we're generating nearly 700 bone meal per hour with this little setup. Thank you so much for watching. I love all you guys. I'll actually put these 2 things in a world download and I'll add them to the website. Shop Happy Chappy if you need anything. Thank you so much for all the support on the merch. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.